The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man
MH.
Yes, and he is the DB of the show. But y'all know what it is. It's the live show, so we're going to jump right into it. Because I'm happy I got my man MH here with us with the Knicks game on. So hopefully we can get through this without getting him distracted. Hopefully his team can do what they need to do. So we're going to talk a little basketball, talk a little football, man. But you know what time it is, man. As you see him, bring him in, MH. So let me clear this out, man, and let's start bringing him in. All right.
Arizona Ron. What's up, my boy? Jazzy. King Gene. Welcome, family. EP.
Yo.
Good seeing y'all.
Let's go. So, appreciate everybody for jumping on, man. It's always good, and we have some regulars here, but if you're new to it, I think want to introduce our man Arizona Ron, man, to the building, man. Please introduce yourself to the dais, man, so people can kind of get to know you.
You just said it. It's your boy Arizona Ron from Tucson, to be exact. Mr. Arizona. Everything Arizona except for ASU. Let's get that right.
Well, there you go. Hey, it's good seeing the regular dais on here. My panelists that kind of holds it up. And how we want to start this time, MH?
I just want to start off with a quick little shout out to the orange and blue skies right now. That's how I really want to start, to be honest with you, man.
Okay,
it's looking pretty good. It's looking really good at the moment. Yeah, biggest halftime lead in NBA history. They got more steals than the Hawks got field goals made. Yeah, it's looking really good for the boys.
All right. So hey, how we gonna start it off for the show topics, man? We always like to just recap some of the shows. So if you had a chance to watch some of the shows this month, we had a really good lineup of interviews and just some topics, getting back into it. So we had JG, Professor JG or Dr. JG. She was on the show and brought us some of the academic insight from Georgia Tech, which was awesome. We talked a little Super Bowl. The NFL is coming back to Las Vegas, so that's kind of big thing. So it was really good to talk about that and what that means for the city. We're doing a lot of back-to-back, running things back. We just ran the WWE backs, WrestleMania, so doing big things that way as well. Who else we have? Oh, we had AE on from the Panthers.
Carolina Panthers.
That's right.
Quarterback.
Yeah, so that's MH's neck of the woods. And then to bring home, we also had Adrian from Arena. And a lot of great topics from them. And I think I'll jump off with this because Black in Sports, business out of sports. Some of us work in sports or adjacent to sports, or just kind of in building their careers and their professional kind of sideline. And one of the things that was awesome is she has this platform that's really helping people in sports network, and kind of through that pipeline, we're just seeing how talent is managed, and just want to kind of open up do we see the talents being managed on the business side? But let's take it to the sports side, because we have a lot of one and dones, and we've talked about different leagues, especially our panelists has been on here a time. Are we seeing development in the corporate side where people are getting a chance to move up the ranks, or on the sports side? I'll take that as a no.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to. I feel like I've seen some make the jump from sports athlete to coach or whatever, but I don't know. It's just kind of hard to. The first person that jumps out to me right now is Chauncey Billups. I know there's a lot of backlash with that, so that's just the first person that comes to my mind.
Yeah, we're gonna move on from that. We just prayers up for Chauncey.
Prayers out for the hometown kid.
All right, so AE was kind of around the same thing. MH and I was talking a little bit about a pre-show. He talks more about the grassroots, I think, training, and maybe MH may have a different element, and you can definitely ask this question after. But he just talks about how the fundamentals and training was big for him and his development. How he got with trainers early on, and that was one of those things that helped his path to the draft. And is that something that's missing? Is that only for the people that got the money, or is that just one of the ways it kind of gets people to the next level? What do you guys think about that?
I'll speak up on this. It was funny. I was thinking about this earlier today, so it's kind of funny that you mentioning this. Me and Miles, we went to the same high school, and I was, I'm still kind of chubby kid, but his work ethic in high school, like, I think if you put yourself around people who have good work ethic, then even Michael Beasley touched on it on his interview, like just being around LeBron and just seeing how he eats and how he just does his day-to-day life. I think that's kind of like, if you just surround yourself with good people and see their work ethic and see what's working with them, it's not always about money, like you were mentioning. But I mean, you have to have some type of money to be in those rooms with those people. But I think if you could get around some people that have some good work ethic, then hope that answers to get this conversation going a little bit.
No, that's a really great point, right? Because you hear a lot of people that get into the league like, oh, I learned how to be a professional, right? And I think AE's point that we had on, he was like, that meant so much. He wants to, and the money part, he wants to start these camps that he has. His brand is called AE, Always Elevating, and he wants to have these brands where these kids have a chance to kind of touch that, without the monetary kind of need.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, AZ, Aaron. One thing that I was that I always say this is like, I always say there's like too much information and we're going too fast. I think the part of development is slowing the hell down. And I don't know if from a parent, from a kid, from a player, from a coach, I think we're so interested into the next and going to the next level, into what's the next opportunity, that I don't think society allows us, or we don't allow ourselves. I don't say we like on the call, I'm just in general, society doesn't slow down enough to really have the proper time to develop. And I think development takes time. Even if you're observing, it takes time to observe and really understand what you're looking at. And I think that's the biggest problem. We rush to get the bag. We rush to get to the pros. We rush for a lot of stuff. We don't slow down enough to really develop, right? If you go take it to the college ranks, and, my little brother's a basketball coach. He's like, hey, man, they can transfer and get playing time, or they can transfer for money, or whatever the case may be, but they might learn 4 or 5 different systems and they don't really know anything by the time they're graduating, not just off the court, but on the court. They don't even know the fundamentals because they haven't been in the system long enough to develop properly. So I think that's just a problem with our society right now. We don't slow down long enough to develop anything.
I agree. Totally agree with that. I was like, I think development is just a lost art across the board. I mean, you can look at entertainment and music. There's no such thing as artist development anymore. They just got rid of it. I mean, you remember how Motown used to do it? It used to be a system. You used to have the artist development. That's why they was able to pump out so many stars. Right now, we're in the TikTok social media era. So it's all about getting the bag, getting it real quick, move on to the next thing. Same thing is happening in the sports now. It's like we're bringing all these kids in. Yeah, they can get the bag, get an NIL, but the people that's going to be affected by it is the pro sports, because then they got to worry about developing these players now. They got to really develop them now. They got to really invest in them time. And some of these kids is not smart. Like, everything is about getting the bag, being on social media, showing who you are, but we don't want to develop anybody anymore. So we're losing that touch. And it's like, how far are we going to take it? Are we going to keep letting this snowball effect and it keeps falling apart? Or somebody going to step is like, okay, we got to slow this down a little bit. Like, what are we going to do to help these athletes out to make sure they're adjusting over to the real world? So, and we dumbing down society. Like, we watch sports. We all watch sports. We all watch sports. ESPN. ESPN is like dumb to me now. I was like, I can't even watch it because it dumbs me down. I was like, I'm not watching this. Like, it's nothing intelligent being talked about anymore. Sports used to be about intelligence. Talk about intelligence.
You make a good point.
It's not there no more. It's like, okay, we dumb down society for money. Like, literally, people in leaderships everywhere is dumb. But they're entertaining, so it makes money.
Hey, that entertainment part is a big fact. So, Jackie, someone in front of the camera at times. What's your thoughts on kind of like the entertainment landscape, since you do work in, you know, that media field, and where journalism is going, and, you know, there's that big march, you know, like Jay-Z said hip hop was dead. Is journalism dead?
I think that journalism as we know it is dead. And I think it's because of kind of like Gene alluded to, you know, we're almost becoming we're becoming kind of like a forced assimilation to, you know, some these different appeals. Like I kind of empathize with Gene in that, you know, when you turn on ESPN, it's kind of more of the same. Not only that, and then let me just also say it's important to point this out. So like I have a totally different job now. Like it's still media. I'm mostly in communications and PR with my current role. So I'm not as hands-on, you know, with the camera and everything, but it's also hard to sometimes keep up with what is credible, for lack of a better word, but it's just, you know, really hard to be able to sift through, you know, all of the, you know, the extra very surface level watered down stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's unfortunate, but that is just kind of where we are. It's almost like a rat race, and it makes you think, okay, what do we think is on the other side? Like, why is there such a like a rat race style of development these days? And so, I mean,
I
yeah,
think
it's
a lot of that, though. I mean, great points, both of you, and it's just that it's a rush to be first, not right, or
mhm.
rush to be first and, you know, not polished. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, when you skip all of those steps just to be first, I think that throws a lot of that garbage out there, right? So it's almost garbage in, garbage out situation.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's one of the effects is this I think one of the adverse effects is like entitlement. Like a lot of these athletes are kind of thinking that they're it, or I'm him. Like, why are you overlooking me when I'm him? Like, no, you're not. Like, you kind of just like comparing yourself to, you know, what has really been a low bar that has been set, and you think because you measure up to this very low bar that has been set, then you're him or you're it, and that's just not always the case.
I want to touch base on that because I feel like, man, you guys you got some good topics tonight. I feel like, not to cut you off, Miss Jazzy, but
No, you're
my
good.
Wildcats is going through that right now with Koa Peak. Should he stay one more year or should he go to the league? It's like the social media, I feel like it's influencing all these kids to say, you know, I got all these Instagram followers. Let me just try and go to the NBA when he's not saying that Koa Peak can't, you know, go to the league and, you know, do his own thing. But I feel like personally he should stay another year. And just going back to my point with like the Instagram and the social media, it's like it's influencing these kids in a negative manner, like kind of like what we talking about, and leaving these kids underdeveloped, kind of to what Gene was saying. And they go into the league, and it's just it's just a, what would you call it? Snowball effect.
I do wonder if, and I have a 6-year-old, so she she made me feel so old today because she said I was telling her about something, and she said, "Yeah, that's AI, Dad." Right? So, like, at 6-year-old, she can identify what's, I guess, legit and what's not. Right? I don't know how she's seeing it, so I do wonder, as you know, as we evolve, is their perspective of what's legit and what's not legit? You know, do they have a better perspective than us as old heads do at this point? You know what I mean? I don't know how to say, I'm not disrespecting nobody, but I do wonder if they can just kind of sift through it as they grow up in this space now.
They're gonna have to.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like you can definitely tell with certain things, but I mean, AI is going to get everybody. That's what it's there to do. It's only a matter of time before it gets worse. But to touch on like the entitlement situation reminds me of a specific player that comes to mind with that is Diego Pavia. And
that's exactly.
yeah,
What's
I
that name?
was just Googling him because I saw that he went undrafted, but I saw that he just signed with the Ravens. But
Yeah.
how he just tanked his own stock and just emotional maturity, right? And that type of level would have helped him. He was not going to go number 1 overall, obviously, but he probably would have not gone undrafted had he just shut the fuck up. Like, just shut your mouth. It's that simple sometimes. And
What was he saying? I must have missed that. I didn't see no immature moments. What was he saying?
all about the Heisman. He called
Oh, I
out
got you.
all the Heisman voters and all that
I'm
stuff.
about to go YouTube that.
Yeah.
That's a hot
He was
take.
just
He was popping bottles at a club, and they brought out the bottle sign. I can't remember what it said, but it was something. It was a dig at like the Heisman voters, and he posted on Instagram. And that was a dig on the Heisman voters. It was a whole thing.
I didn't see all that.
it's
And
one of
then-
those. It's
And
one
he
of those.
played the course with his draft comments. I forget exactly what they were, but he.
I make my own path. F
Right.
NFL, whatever you say.
Where I was like,
Yeah,
he was
okay,
never going to be a starter. So when teams looking like, oh, what do I have in a backup? I don't want him as my backup. You got to go. I'm
And
not
I mean,
drafting him.
He came
Well,
out
he's my height. He's
and
my
said-
height. So.
he was
And it's like
That's
Diego.
off
You gotta understand, Diego. You're looking at what we all know if we've followed SEC football. It's Vanderbilt. They're commending you on the part you played in elevating Vanderbilt, who has pretty much like for however many years we're not taken seriously in the SEC. Like that's all I can say on that.
I mean, he just doubled down with having a mentor. Like he went out and said his mentor was Johnny Manziel. He went on like
Makes sense.
he went.
I would have
on,
drafted him just off of that.
saying like, and I get like if you're like I've had conversations with him, right? Like maybe what not to do, you know what I mean? Or he's kind of told me but to just say he's my mentor and people don't understand him and like. He stood strong in that, and it's like your mama used to tell you when you was young, your circle you keep, right? Watch who the people you keep around, and I don't think that was like for him to stay business on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looked like it benefited him, though. I
Yeah.
mean, look how quick he got signed. He got guaranteed money. I mean, it probably benefited him more acting out and being the person he is to if he didn't say anything. As far as the concern, I mean, he got what he wanted. He got signed, guaranteed money. He ain't even touched the field yet.
I mean,
I mean, he
I've
got
never seen that.
he
before.
got
I've
camp
never seen
money.
an undrafted player never touch the field and get guaranteed money.
But how much in guarantee?
How much money is his guarantee? Like $100K? Like
It don't even matter though.
Enough.
He didn't get drafted. That's still the point. He didn't get drafted and got guaranteed money. You don't
And the
get
NFL
guaranteed
team
money
is
when
signing
you're
his
not drafted.
checks.
no, most of those undrafted free agents they do get guaranteed money because it's
No, they
so
don't.
small. It's,
No, they
it's chump
don't.
change.
But
It's
they
chump
don't
change.
get guaranteed money, Gene. They get paid by every day they show up, practice, anything to the facility. They don't get guaranteed money when you're undrafted.
Hold on, well, somebody chat look up that contract because
No,
yeah, I don't think it's guaranteed like what we thinking.
And if they earn a roster, if they're that they maintain a roster throughout the very last cut. So are you saying, Bob, this is something that like his agent negotiated?
Yes.
Like
This is uncharted field.
What I'm seeing
Don't
is
get
that
undrafted and get guaranteed money. You don't. You get paid by every day you show up until they put you on the roster. He already got signed, guaranteed money before he even stepped on
I'm
the
reading the
field.
contract now. He does not make any money unless he makes the active roster.
Ooh,
They
He
already
gets
made it clear
$0
he's on the
unless he makes
roster.
the active roster.
But did you see the conference? They made it clear he's gonna be on their roster.
He is not making that roster.
All right.
He's not making that roster.
Yeah, it is.
He is not making that roster.
okay. You give us a genius. You stamp it down on that.
They barely want to carry two quarterbacks. He is not being the backup to Lamar.
Watch.
All right. There we go.
Who's Lamar's backup now?
Tyler Huntley. They just re-signed him for 2
They
years.
just gave
11
Snoop a
million,
lot of money to be
26.
his backup.
Yeah.
They did.
Javi is not
Yeah,
making
I
that
did.
roster.
Crazy.
Watch. It's
Yeah,
all
like-
a rhyme to the reason, man. They
That boy
just
gonna be in
playing
the
the
UFL
game.
by June.
Why you think they ran and all of a sudden they signed him? Because they playing the game. They know there's something there, and they don't like what he did, and they want to try to coach him up and counsel him. But that dude's
So I'm
gonna be on
reading.
that roster.
I'm reading something that says. It says former Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia landed his first NFL contract. As CBS Sports Matt Zenitz reports that the Baltimore Ravens will sign Pavia to a deal before rookie
That's what they
minicamp.
said.
ESPN reports it's a 3-year deal.
Yes,
Yeah, that's crazy.
3-year deal if he makes the active roster.
dude.
I
he's
see
gonna
what
make
you
the
said.
roster.
I see the
He's not
caveat,
gonna make
Mr.
that
Gene. But come
roster.
on, come
He
on.
is not making that active roster.
It sounds
Gene,
like you're
have
gonna
you
make
ever
it with
seen
those
an
Bobby,
details.
undrafted player
Bobby,
do
we can
that?
bet on this right now. I'll tell you, he ain't making that roster.
With
Nah,
those
we don't-
details, I don't think they'd be putting those
No,
details
no.
out if he's not gonna make the roster.
The
No,
first
he's
day,
a camp body.
Hey,
no, he ain't.
They need somebody to
I'm
throw
trying to
the ball around.
What's the money
Camp
out there?
Body, camp arm.
No,
That's
that
what they
dude's
call
on the
those
team.
guys.
That dude's
Throw the
on the
ball
team.
around for me. Toss it around. I'm gonna cut you.
Gene, you ain't never seen an
what you do.
undrafted player the first day of undrafted pickup get signed. Ever.
Yes. A lot of them got signed. The Packers signed a guy to a 3-year deal that was undrafted.
Yeah,
Not like
You gotta
that.
make the roster.
It happens. I might be with Gene on this one, Bobby. Usually we hear, but yeah, I think there's a UFL thing waiting on him too.
we're going to the Seattle Snapdragons.
Not the Snapchat. Anybody watching the UFL? That wasn't on the list, but I think it's gonna get brought up.
I watch the
Anybody-
Renegades from time to time. Like
That's your home team, right? That's in your.
yeah, we want to chip, something light, but I'll
But his
watch it
check
every
is gonna
now
have
and
Ravens
then.
on it.
I ain't been to a game.
He can go to the UFL, but it's gonna have a Ravens signed signature on it.
It's just combined, right? The UFL is like the understudy to the NFL now, isn't that?
Not yet, not officially.
Oh.
So, I mean,
So we know the Ravens also signed Joe Fagino from Connecticut to the same deal. They gotta make the active roster.
Dude, that's just a throw off. They signing
all.
that dude.
you gotta watch. You gotta read that fine print on there. You
I don't know
definitely
about all that.
All right, so that's funny. Since we're talking, you want to jump into it? No, one quick question because we do have Gene here, and I know you like to be on the academic side. So we had a Jacqueline Garner, Dr. Jacqueline Garner from Georgia Tech, and she said something that was really interesting about the model of how the schools have to pay and the NIL and how that's structured and how that money's going. And it was doubled down on an article I read today, just saying that how schools usually operate is that any money that they have, their athletic department works annually. They don't have any money in, going through or saved. So that lawsuit that they have or any kind of money that's given is always given out annually. So they have to either borrow from the school or cut other programs for them to continue to funding these NIL deals and keep building these teams. Is that a sustainable model, or are we just going to continue to see, other sports go by the wayside?
Oh no,
Or-
all women's sports and a lot of those Olympic sports are gone.
There you go.
It's a wrap. Like I don't know how people didn't realize that. Like this was the way. If they was gonna do football like this, bro, they was cutting all that stuff away. Like they was cutting all. Olympic sports was gone. Women's sports are gone. Like anything they don't need, unless somebody's just gonna single-handedly fund it, it won't be there.
And that's a scary thing. She kind of
Yeah.
brought that to light, about how that, and then that just stacks on what we were talking about earlier on the development. So now where these
Yeah.
people get the chance to get development early on, and maybe that's going to make these Olympic sports become more of professional things at a younger age, like the European leagues do, to say, hey, if you want to continue in rowing or whatever the outside sports are, there's going to have to be some kind of
And then another thing is I told somebody it's going to shorten how many people can get out of their situations. Like college sports used to be this big thing where it allowed a lot of people to get out of their situations. Now we're shrinking it, and college football is going to be like college basketball, where it's only for the rich kids. And that's the system we're creating right now. So I was like, I'm not a fan of that. I'm like, I want us to have a more robust system. I want kids to get UIL, but I want it to be under control where it's spread out and more kids are getting scholarships, more kids are getting the opportunity to go to college. Right now, like you go talk to high school coaches right now, they'll tell you players are not getting recruited out of high school no more at all. It's like it's a dying thing. So are we willing to sacrifice more African Americans opportunities just to pay a small amount of people?
And that's a big thing. I mean, we were going to jump into talking about the NCAA Final Fours, the men's and women's, and if you look at both of those platforms, I think it was in Michigan, was all new starting five, that came out of the portal, and a lot of football coaches are really talking about that they're not drafting. They're not looking into high school. They're looking into the portal, pick some kids from either other schools or other opportunities, and they're not looking to these high school kids. So, and it's already a reflection in both. I mean, even the UCLA women's, all of them came from different, like they came and built the super team and racked up the Final Four. So we're already seeing that model in action. Anybody got any comments or watch any of the Final Fours?
Let me ask a question though. Do you guys think that with the NFL backing the women's flag football, that's going to be a sport, since the NFL's backing it, is actually going to take over from some of these other random sports, to where the financial thing is going to be a gain for NFL and schools to support and add this women's flag football, with the USA edition and all that?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes,
to me, that's what it's looked like it's going to, is like that's going to be considered a major sport compared to some of the other sports that are at these schools, because the NFL is backing that.
No,
it is.
I agree. I think the high school's already doing it. Colleges are already investing in it. I think this is all in on women's flag football.
It is, yes, but the thing that we have to be careful of, and is just what you just said, Gene. We have to be careful that the same 100 girls are the ones that are going to be elevated across the country. There's more than 100 girls that play flag football in this country, right? But if they're not able to be in these platforms or these tournaments or these clubs that get those, that they're able to be seen, then they're going to be under recruited as well. So I do think it is coming. It is going to be a new wave, but we got to be careful with it. I think high school football, and we already said, it's already kind of diminishing. And I think football is maybe the last sport where you can, go to your normal high school and get to college, right? Now, if you're a little patient and make some moves when you're into college, maybe you can get to those places where they're not really recruiting high school anymore. But I think it is the last sport where you can really get there. In the NBA, they've been playing the same. How many people's in the NBA since they were 12, probably, right? Like they know who's in the. That's all they homeboys from AAU. I just think that's
you can get there through baseball.
How long though? Are we patient enough to go through that process?
It could be forever, right? Like the Rangers, they just had his name was like Noah Gray, I think, and he just pitched his first out in baseball at the age of 30. Right? He's been in the minors for years. Like he's been with 12 minor league teams, and he finally got his call up. But then you have teams that like I think it's the Mets, they're calling up their former number one overall from 2 years ago or something like that. So it's just obviously it comes down to skill, but and patience for sure.
And I guess just a sustainable model, right? Like there's on the chat. Thanks for everybody that's live on the live chat chiming in. The AAU model, right? And like, are other sports going to be able to do that? AAU, right? Travel baseball, young EP. They talk about like that, how that's kind of grown, or club baseball or whatever they're calling it. And I think soccer is even following that kind of same model.
Well, club soccer's been around forever. Club sports in general, but it's always just, I feel like it's more accessible now in the sense of like, it was like $2,000 when I was in junior high. You know what I mean? That was like in the early 2000s. That was a lot then. So we made the move, I think, but it wasn't as fully recognized, I would say, as like anything travel or select is now.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a full family commitment to these club
Hell
sports.
yeah.
If you're gonna be playing them, the whole crew's gonna have to travel. You know, your whole summers are built around whatever that club is.
Yep.
It's a little different. It's a full commitment early.
Financial too. I mean, I got family and friends who got kids, and their AAUs are going to Europe and Rome and different places like that. It's a big money as far as a regular person. Financially, if you don't have the money, then you can't play the game with them, and you can't play with the big dogs because they're sending these cats overseas, and the families got to go overseas if they want to do AAU now. So, I mean, I don't know where this direction is going, but it seems like it's getting crazier and crazier, and it's all about the bread.
So with that being said, do you think that quote still stands? The talent, if you're talented, will find you.
No,
Hell no.
That's what it sounds
No.
like.
I don't even believe that
Sounds
anymore.
like you got to have some money behind you these days, regardless if you're good or not.
It's the best marketing.
Because you know what it is?
Because it ain't the best athletes that's getting looked at. It's the best people that got the marketing, that can put up the videos the best way to make them look as best as possible, and they're going to get seen. It's not necessarily the best athletes out there, because there's some people that don't have the marketing power or the backing, or people that know how to put these videos together to make them look better than what they are. And I think that's what's happening. We're getting people that look better than what they are, and then when they get to these teams, like, man, this is just the average Joe. They just showed a lot of good plays, but overall, this dude ain't nothing. Or this lady ain't nothing out here.
I tell people the biggest scam in the world is when people like Jalen Rose went on air and was like talking about how the whole thing about players getting paid and things like that. I was like, they were looking at it so short-sighted. They're looking at it for themselves. And what's going to happen is basketball going to be like baseball, where it's going to be less and less black players coming through that cycle. As you see now, if you go to AAU tournaments, it's less and less black people, less and less black athletes coming through those cycles, because we don't have the money to pay for this. We don't have the money to do all this. The only ones you see are ex-players or people from wealth kids who are playing that are African American. But you don't see, like, you're starting to see less and less African American kids come through this cycle, because we can't afford to do travel ball. You can't afford to have a trainer year round. And I think we played ourselves. I think all those talking heads, especially the African American ones, who just felt like, you know what, we should have got paid. We should have got this money. This is how it should be. We screwed ourselves. Now we're hustling backwards, because as you see in baseball, no more black athletes in there. There's hardly any black athletes playing baseball. Basketball is the next one. Football will be next.
It's kind of crazy to say that, because now that I'm looking back at it, not to cut you off, Mr. Gene, but you make a great point. Now I'm looking back at it, like late 90s, all the starting five was all black starting five. These days, I'm not trying to be a racial conversation, but now you look, it's a mixed genre. You're seeing even Portland Trailblazers, like they got 3-4 different countries starting on one team. It's
right,
like you said, it's just different.
And then the leagues are investing. They're not investing in the black neighborhoods no more. They're investing in those international hubs now. They're not putting that money there anymore. All that money is gone. So if a black athlete come from a black neighborhood, they family gonna have some money, or somebody gonna have to invest in them, because the leagues are not doing it no more. So it's like, it's a catch-22. It's like, we wanted this, but we the ones that's gonna pay for it, because we thought it was gonna benefit us, and it's not benefiting us.
Seems like the great American story.
It benefits the elite.
So, and that's sad, right? Because then that goes back to Miss Arizona's thing. Like, so talent is not going to find a way, right? Because like at the end of the day, there are just people that are extremely talented or special, right? Like, I've been seeing this from KPTV. He's talking about generational, but there are people that are just cracks and molds. You don't think that? I know that's far and few and in between, right? So, but I'm just thinking about like this full, what you kind of broke down, like just kind of thinking back at it is just like really shocking. It really kind of put this whole conversation into a whole big spin.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Just because, like you just said, with the AAU, we've been watching Cooper Flag since he's been in AAU. Why he's had the money? And again, I hate to bring it up, but probably because he had the money, he's had, that backing to. He's been in the spotlight way before he was in the league because of that AAU circus.
So,
kind of just.
Are we gonna have to go back to the barber shop where, Rudy needs shoes for the camp, and we all gonna pitch into that milk jug and make sure? Hey, Bob, many times we be up in the shop and putting the fun together for somebody. You know what I mean?
But EJ, think about it. When we all was coming up, we knew dudes that were better than some of the dudes that were getting recruited. But those dudes would get crapped on and pushed down to hype up this one person who's either from privilege, somebody know. I remember when I was in Houston, all the Lucas boys was getting pumped up over everybody, and it was 40 other dudes better than them.
Right,
and it was happening all the time. But since they were John Lucas' son, they all got pumped up. They all, like the John Lucas sons, got pumped up, and all the other kids was getting crapped on by coaches. And then when people come recruit, they will crap on the kids who were better than John Lucas's kids to pump him up. So it was a lot of that going on. So just imagine it now with all this money and everything condensed into just this AAU and people just funding it and funding their kids.
Yeah.
That's the truth, man. And EJ can validate to that. I mean, when me and EJ grew up together. So EJ, you can account of how many people that we've seen in the little city we grew up in that why is that guy not in the NFL? Why is that guy not going to a big college? But what ended up happening, EJ, the streets called him. So it's a matter of time. It's because when they don't have the financial support that they need to get to where they need to go, or the discipline or the parenting and the household backup, what did we watch, EJ, our whole lives? We watched the streets take a hold of great athletes that you just man, if I had that athlete, that size, that talent that person had, and they're out the poll because the streets called them and they answered. And that's what's going to start happening again. It's the dope boys going to either have to start investing again to these players, or the streets going to call them and they're going to do something stupid to ruin their lives.
And not to cut you off, I think that's always been the case, right? I don't think that's changed since we were kids, right? It's it takes a rare talent, it takes rare discipline, and it takes a lot of God and fortune and who your community is to get to where we're talking about anyway. So I don't think the premise of that has changed. Where I do think that needs to change is we gotta, like I said earlier, we just gotta slow down as parents and community. We gotta really do our research, right? Everything ain't for everybody right now, right? We don't need to have the top 6-year-old traveling across Tokyo right now. Let's just slow down development, and then when it's time to strike right, then we can strike right and we can be prepared. I think as parents and community, as adults, we got to educate ourselves better a little bit too.
Yeah, but we had hope, MH, because we did get a little time where it felt like that wouldn't happen no more. That the streets wasn't investing as much, and you were able to get social media or whatever and promote yourself and get out of there. But it seems like it's formulating back to where you got to go back to that, because now social media has got so big and so dominant that now you might need to ask somebody on the streets hey, yo, but need a little boost, B. I need to get the AAU.
Ain't it crazy we got more information now, but we dumber now? We just got to slow down and just you know what I mean? We just got to slow down real quick. Just slow down
But you know what?
I told you, EJ. I told you, bro. I was like, I'm quiet. I'm quiet now. I'm quiet. I was like,
you know what? I blame a lot of our community too, because I've seen it in Houston where all the kids from the black neighborhoods, their parents ship them out to all the white schools. It happened to me. My parents shipped me out to the white high schools as well. And I was like, damn, when you get older, you see dang, we probably should have all just stayed in our neighborhood and built that up. Because shout out to Alex Oak Cliff. Shout out to that coach. Because he's getting all those kids to stay in their community. They're building it up. They're sending kids to D1. They're being educated. They're being prepared. He's doing everything you need to do. And he's keeping those kids in the community. And they're building up that community. And it's money coming to that community now. We so busy. Houston was so busy. It's still going on to this day where It's like, no, we're in the hood, we sending you out. We sending you out to the white schools in the suburbs. Even though illegally we sending you out to the white kids in the suburbs.
But Gene, why is that?
That's a mentality. That ain't us. They're not paying us.
No, but Gene,
that's a mentality that like
the only way
want
that's
that.
going that's the only way that's going to change is black got to stop hating black. That's the problem. Black hates black. Black hates another black being higher or developing and making progress, and then black hates on that person because they're black and they didn't for whatever reason, because they didn't either apply themselves or they didn't have the same situation, and we hate on each other so much that we down each other. So what people black end up doing is saying, hey, I'm gonna migrate my youngsters to this area so they can progress until we get the mindset that black on black can progress within each other instead of hating on each other.
And then another thing that's going on is little league coaches are selling these kids. They're basically, oh, this guy's good. Hey, you give me some money, I'll make sure you go to your school. Yeah. A lot of that is going on too. So it's a lot of just craziness where we got to start appreciating our community again. Like we got to get back there. Like me and my homeboys, we all grew up. We played baseball together in the hood together. It was a black basic called Freeway National. And we was like, now that we older, we all got money. Let's bring that back. Like we go to our neighborhood now, there's no baseball field, there's no baseball league for these little kids in this area. So their parents don't have the money, like to travel ball. Like, why not bring back a league again? Like, let's build that back up. Let's build community back up. I think we lose touch as a lot of us get big, and we need to like, hey, wait up. We losing the flavor. We losing what made us great.
Michael Irvin, where that Michael Irvin drop?
No, okay. I do believe there's truth to that. And what's up, Miss Ebony in the house? Glad to see you as always. I think part of that is we also like nice things, right? So I mean, it's only so much that you can. I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna eat this bullshit, but when I see what they serving over there, like that shit right there, like it's not.
Yeah, you can't be mad at that.
It's a natural assimilation for people to want to strive for better. And not saying fuck it. I mean, I'm saying there's some stuff when you look at some of these schools that we are in that is not better. So it's not the black white, it's the same shit. Like there's something better over here, and I deserve to be in that better, and that's why we're going over there. So I just think there's a degree. I get what the sentiment that Bob and Gene were making, but let's not forget some of the situation we're in is just kind of like fuck that. I like that stuff too.
Well, and I want to say the other thing is, listen, I had to swallow my pizza real quick to jump on here because I heard y'all talking. I was like, oh no, I got to get on here now. This is my thing. I had an AAU child, so I know where we at with all this. But I think the other thing that we forget, and I mean, Gene, Bobby, y'all both hit on it, is the support. Like, you get in these situations with these kids, and one, if you don't have the knowledge of like what it is to play travel ball versus club ball versus high school versus, because again, my son now, it's like 10, almost 15 years removed from him playing AAU. But when he was playing AAU, it was more about, they wasn't really looking at you in high school. It was, you had to be at the tournaments to get recruited. That's where the coaches were. Like, there were tournaments that my son's team went to, and it's like, yo, Calipari's in this gym, and everybody's running over to the gym to go see Calipari because they want to see who he's looking at. So that is, AAU has been a structure for a really long time. And then it's the knowledge base, and it's being honest about the talent base of children. Everybody's child ain't going to the NBA, the NFL, the MLB. You lucky if you get a scholarship. They're either too small, or they're too big, or they don't want to work. And you're over here trying to force a child, and everybody can see right off the bat that child does not have the drive or the hunger to do it. And you as a parent cannot push that child to do what they're supposed to do. Motivation is intrinsic. Okay, you got to figure out what moves you to get to that next level. And if you don't have it in you, you're not going to be able to do it. And then we went through the whole reclassing situation because the kid they weren't big enough to compete with the other kids. So I'm going to reclass my kid and they're going to be the oldest kid on the AAU team. We over here looking at birth certificates. I'm like, you lie. That child is not 13. Well, they got reclassed. They're in the 6th grade again. You know what? Child Protective Services needed to be called, okay, on a number of parents. They probably still need to be called because reclassing got ridiculous at one point. Like I remember parents reclassing their children back into the 9th grade so that they would be able to play because they didn't have the talent or the stamina or whatever was needed to compete with their own age group. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I love that.
and it hasn't gotten any better. Mm-hmm. And again, if you have the right social media, if you know somebody that can make you look good, that can clip all your highlights, now you look like you know how to do something and you can't do nothing. You running around like a diva because somebody in your ear telling you good, and then you can't block worth the dang. You have absolutely no dribble. You don't know how to post up. You don't know how to take a charge. You flopping all over the place because you don't game. And that's nothing about no basketball basics, baseball basics, football basics. And y'all over here telling I'm ready. You ain't ready for that.
They flopping. They flopping.
Sir, you are.
I want to make a quick point just to kind of tie all the points back in together because I think we made a point about obviously AAU. You know, these players are getting recruited just because they have the money. And then 2, I think we made a point about like being able to do our own research and how journalism has died off. I think that kind of like ties all in together. You got to be able to do your own research, go to the newspaper, read, you know, how many points you have. Don't watch these Instagram clips. It's not like you said, journalism probably has died because this Instagram era, he put a little 30-second clip. Man, you scored 1 point in one game and then you got 6 games from just 1 point. That's just 2 points a game. It's not really adding up. So it just goes back to like Miss Jazzy was saying with the journalism stuff. Go do your own research. Go grab that black and white newspaper and read the stats. See what you're getting yourself into. Stop looking at Instagram clips and thinking that these kids is Jordan and LeBron just off of a nice little spliced together video.
I think I was the only one that knew Mikey Williams was not good. I was like, and he was the biggest social media. So I was like, he is not good at all. Like, what are we doing? And that's when I knew we was in trouble. I was like, Mike Williams not good. And by the way, it's a Hall of Famer and a future NFL Hall of Famer who have both reclassified their sons in football. Like in football, it's the newest thing now. You do an 8th grade twice.
It's so a thing. It's like your child just admit your child is not good enough. They cannot carry on the legacy. It's not one of them. You need to have another one, adopt one, support one, but it ain't yours. So leave that child alone, making them stay in the 8th grade or the 7th grade 12 times. They got to be in the 10th grade 3 times. Stop it. And they still ain't no better.
And it's so funny because I think that, you know, with NIL and all of the, you know, the values attached to it, when you start hearing these numbers and these figures and, maybe I can get a few thousand just from my son being on the roster. I think that, you know, kind of had a lot of people or just parents like salivating, like, oh, if they could just be in college 5 years and not really start, you know, we might be able to just scrape the pot a little bit. You know, I mean, I think a lot of it just really points back to, I want to say greed. Greed might be extreme, but it just does point back to like, what can I get? What kind of monetary value can I get out of all of like this changing landscape and being paid for everything?
It's too many uncle agents.
It's really not. It is greed. It's using your kid as a meal ticket because you couldn't get there or you didn't do the work or whatever it is. That's what people are doing. They're trying to take the easy way out instead of doing the work to get where they need to be.
Yeah.
And what about the protective element though, right? I mean, it's still we talk one way about saying, you know, we have to come together as a community and collective and and then when it's our parents like doing it, our uncles, and I know there's some uncles that they do it for the wrong reasons.
Them uncle agents.
The uncle agents, right? But like how when you talk about what's my quarterback, not I mean, we know Lamar's mom is his agent, but the other one that kind of kept Juju away from his son, the Commanders quarterback. Oh, come on, somebody help me out here.
Daniel.
Daniels.
His mom is all over that, right? Like she's not playing no games. She's like, this is the way we're gonna do it. So what's that balance to saying like having her or them in there and not giving them the benefit of the doubt that they are doing the reading, the researching, and the teaching to prepare their kids, right? Or protecting their kids. Because a lot of times, one of the biggest things, shout out to Jaya, we're still trying to get her on the show, is she puts out this diverse representation. And she's always talking about us, managing us, right? Like a whole lot of shifts need to happen. And, you know, we need to commend these moms and these the right uncles and family members that are representing, being the agents and things of these kids. And then all these players going to Black representation to being managed so then they can give back and do all of these things that we need to do as kind of a culture just as the system is breaking down. So I think it's like that delicate balance when we say like, what are you doing or hyping your kid up? But like as a parent, isn't that what you like? I did a lot more shit than I was probably supposed to because my mom and dad hyped me the fuck up.
Yeah, but I think with that is it's a plan, right? And if you have a plan, the execution of the plan doesn't happen in 2 to 3 years. You know what I mean? I think it goes back to what I'm saying is we just got to slow down and develop a real system and plan, right? Sometimes, even if your kid is one of those ones, right, it may not be time for them, he or she, just mentally. Maybe they just can't handle it right now, right? Maybe that's why I think I heard, was it St. Brown's dad? He does a lot of funny stuff, but
he is hilarious, by the way.
He's funny. But he did say something that I actually really agree with. He said he doesn't believe there's lazy kids. He believes there's lazy parents, right? Mm-hmm. Are we developing a plan? He said he could tell he had a plan for his kids, and if his wife wasn't on that plan, he was going to kick her to the curb. And I don't agree with that part, but I do agree. Yeah. He said he cut it. Yeah, I do agree though. I do agree that he had a plan. I do agree he had a plan. He executed the plan. He had vision past 6 months, 2 years, 10 years. He had a vision for his sons that included a long-term success. And I think we just got to have vision as a community, as leaders. We got to have a plan. We can't just go out there and move everywhere.
And that is something that is just like it is becoming a rarity, like people or a community having a plan. You know, a lot of times we just really trying to get by. Like I've gotten you to the point where, you know, you graduated and this and that. And sometimes we're just really satisfied with what is a lot of times the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, and sometimes it's multiple factors, I think, that play into it, you know, with when it comes to, you know, just even raising student athletes. A lot of times the support that it looks like they have behind them is contingent upon how talented they are. It's very rare that people want to rally around you or help you or support you if it looks like it might not benefit them or they don't stand to gain something from it.
Which, to your point, Jazzy, is why a lot of times, and this point was brought up earlier, a lot of times you see children of color going over to white schools with white families because they're not necessary. They're there to support. They don't necessarily know that you're gonna do anything, but they know if they nurture you, you might.
Yep.
And we're always looking, you know, there's always the quick fix. Like, I agree with you, MH, when you're talking about there needs to be a plan in place, because there definitely does. But how many of us know how to plan? Like, were you taught how to do that? There are a lot of things that as a community, we weren't taught to do. And somebody has to teach you, and you have to be willing to learn, because we keep talking about teaching, but you also have to be willing to learn. I've had plenty of people like, Ebony, you should go back in the community. You should do this and you should do that. I donate my time to mentoring and all kinds of other things. But I can't tell you how many times I've run up against a parent, a Black parent, who has had no interest in creating a plan for their child. They want quick, well, they don't need that. They need, this video game, or they need that. They don't need books. They don't need to learn about that. They don't need to learn about this. They need the fast thing. So it's about making sure that, one, the plan is there, but understanding if people know what a plan is. Because some people may not even know what a plan is. It's like balancing a checkbook. I mean, we don't have checkbooks no more, but it's like balancing a checkbook or balancing your budget. How many of us knew how to do it before we actually had to do it?
Yeah.
I'll back it up with saying it's parents, right? As parents, like, I just want to give my mom a lot of credit, because elementary, I was in the hood, in the Black high school, in the elementary. Middle school, start playing sports. They sent me over to the white schools. High school was in the white school. And, you start, as a kid, you start saying, man, this is better. And then you start trying to downplay where you came from and what the people that's still in the hood, is at the hood high school. Oh, they don't have this. We got this. Luckily, my mom was still teaching in the hood. So she was like, oh, you coming over here. You help me after school. You help me with these students. So she was still making me like, no, yeah, I sent you over there, but I still want you to have this experience. And I told her the best thing she did was take me on Southern campus. Because at first I was like, I wasn't thinking about Southern like that. She graduated from Southern. My family graduated from Southern, grandparents. And I was so busy going to these white schools and playing sports and all like that. And then she's like, let me take you over, come to the yard with me. And then going to the yard, I told somebody, the love I got from the yard, I wouldn't have got from any other school. Like, if I would have went to one of those white schools and graduated from one of those PWIs, and I was like, that love I got from Southern, the love I still have at Southern, I wouldn't have that. Like, it made you feel like you was a part of the community. You saw every version of your community. You saw the rich part of your community, the poor part of your community, the middle class, all these different classes within your community that you don't see all the time. So for me, it was like, I think it's the parents, right? It's the parents that ought to let them know, like, some parents never had nothing. So when they see something, that's all they know. And that's what they're going to stick with.
Yeah.
They're not going to go back to like, all right, this is where you from. These are your roots. This is how you need to be taught. So for me, it's just, I think it's the parents, man. Parents got to step up and be like, hey, yes, I'm introducing you to this, but this is where you from. This is your community. This is what you need to go back and help and help that community grow. So don't forget about that community as you grow.
It starts at home, and I got to shout out Elder and Sister Hayes too. I mean, I knew if whatever league I could play in, no matter how good or no matter if the coach said he'll pay his registration or whatever the case is, if we were playing on Sunday, it wasn't gonna happen. Hey, they're gonna be in church, right? So I quickly knew that, hey, there's certain things that ain't gonna, no matter how big the sports is, this ain't gonna overtake, your priorities here. You're gonna be in church on Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless you're on varsity. So don't even ask me about anything else. So I think it does start at home. Shout out to Elder and Sister Hayes.
No, and I do believe this start at home as a part of it, but I still just believe in our culture as a community. And it even if our parents didn't know, we had that coach, we had that teacher, we had that, person to step in. So I just want to hope that, as MH likes to throw shade, is there is not, Ebony's a part of this. There's not a such thing as too much information. The information is out there, you know what I mean? And we have to be open. We have to be open to garnering towards it, right? It's not I don't know this. It's not an excuse anymore, right? There's too many resources and too many people that that are willing. Because I know most of us on here have volunteered, spoke, or did something to help someone, whether it was a classmate, or something like that, right? Like, so I think from that standpoint, the community has to come together, and I don't believe that aspect is going to be gone. And it's just recognizing that and getting back to,
Yeah. I don't want to Stephen A. Smith this point, but I think we got to be cool with saying I don't know this too, though, right? Like there's take some humbleness there to say I truly don't know. Let me take my time and do my research so I can better understand. Everything is not a quick fix. That's why I really feel that way. Slow down. Slow the hell down, man. Slow down.
Absolutely. And we got a question that's coming in. What does it say? Because so how influential is sports to the Black community, and where would we be without it? And I think that was the kind of question that Gene was really tapping into, saying that like some of this model is going to where if the community have wealth or affluence to be able to kind of get into it, if we kind of see this model go away, it could be trouble. Anybody else want to speak to this comment that we got in from the chat?
I would say that I don't know that like maybe sports as we know it is influential. I mean, but just looking at it from I guess just a general like as a purist, right? We've known sports to be or it is been often said that sports is like a microcosm of society, or at least what society should be. You know, when you are kind of joining together and you have a shared objective, and you putting all of these differences aside, you putting all of these, you know, other disagreements aside to work together to meet that objective. It's a beautiful thing, because it's like, okay, why can't we be this way? Why can't we join together? Why can't we put our differences aside and work together to meet other objectives? But you know, there are so many lessons that I think kids grow up learning by being a part of some type of team or sports organization that they wouldn't learn otherwise. And I think that's why, you know, some of them just kind of like gravitate to it. And that's, I would say, just in a nutshell, that's one of the things that sports really, I think, has saved a lot of people's lives. And I think one of my favorite examples of that is the John Thompson story, the coach from the legendary John Thompson, Georgetown. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, it definitely changes lives.
Great point.
It definitely changes lives. I think, you know, if you're talking about how, you know, influential it is, I mean, we come from a generation where we all wanted to be like Mike. You couldn't tell them to be like Mike, right? So I think sports is definitely a collection for us on so many levels. And then now it's making our new millionaires. And I think that they're attacking that. That's a whole nother episode. But they're attacking that so that we don't have the money and the wherewithal to kind of get these things. It's cutting into education, because I do remember.
I want to make a quick comment too when you're done, EJ. On the question that was answered in the chat or asked in the chat.
No, just go
finish your point up.
No, but I mean, that was it. Like, I just think that it's very influential, and I think in a lot of ways, you know, like we were coached that we're not all going to the league. Doesn't mean that can't be a dream, but I think that it built other building blocks for us as a community and things for us to come together. So whether or not you played a sport, you know, I know coming up, I went to the basketball game, my high school basketball games, right? Like there was a community around that. So, or we went to watch, you know, the girls volleyball team or whatever, right? Like no matter how you look at it, it was an environment. It was something that's really kind of close to us. So, but no, go ahead, jump in there.
I agree. You touched base on it. Like I just think with the Black community, sports is like kind of our God in a way. A lot of Black people are trying to make it out of their bad situation to go to the NBA, NFL. I feel like it's very influential, especially like somebody like me. I lost my brother, unfortunately, at a young age. So mental health that's my outlet. Going, you know, just shooting the ball around is something that, you know, just clears my head, you know, makes me be able to continue on my day in a good light. I just think sports is, like you said, just helps a lot of Black people in the community, and something that it's been around ever since we've been kids. You know, it's just something that we've always looked up to, like our God. It's like, when can I get out and play basketball, catch football? You know, it's just kind of something that it's always been there.
It's always part of our community, right? The Lord, but in the rest in peace, Biggie said, either you sell crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot.
but has it become too influential? Because think about the percentages of who actually gonna make it.
Well, I think what it comes down to, though, is that sports was teaching you a lot of those basic lessons that some people weren't. You know, we were talking about parents earlier and what you're taught at home and the lessons that you learn through your parents. And I think for a lot of individuals, sports was a way for them to learn certain things like resilience, like grit. You know, that's where you learn that. Because if you think about the shift in the landscape of sports, particularly youth sports, you know, going from you only got a trophy if you was number one. Now we've all talked about the participation trophy era that we're still in. If you wasn't first, you were last. It did second and third didn't matter. If you wasn't first, it was like, okay, I lost. I got to do better next time. But it's like these were key lessons that we were taught. Typically, you had coaches that I would say, you know, in earlier times, it make me sound really old now, but when you think about our coaches, like they were figures in the community. They were individuals that were staples, whether they were business owners, whether they were leaders in whatever industry they were in. So now
the pastor at the church, the elder.
Yeah, you also have this person that is like a pillar within your society that is showing you this other pathway to keep you out of doing the wrong thing. So sports has always been very influential to the Black community because that is what it taught you. It helped you learn those core lessons. How many times do you ask a young person these days questions about persevering and having grit and being able and having determination, and they look at you like you got 7 heads? Because that's not what we do. That's not necessarily the landscape of sports anymore. Like again, I brought it up when I was talking about the flopping. Like, come on, and there have been conversations going back and forth about the whole GOAT situation and players in the league and how they're handling things. It's like the league when we was watching basketball is a different league than the league we watch now. Like this is a watered down Kool-Aid league. Like this ain't. I mean, them boys was balling and knocking each other out. Like it's just what it was. So it's understanding that tells you how influential it is because the lessons have changed and it is shaping the new generation in a very different way than how we were brought up during that time.
And I would say my biggest fear right now
I think
is
it's
no, Jazz, go.
Oh no, it's I mean, it's like real quick. It's almost as if like maybe sports culture or what people perceive to be sports culture is more of the influence or seems to be what's kind of influencing these I'll say these generations. But go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, for me, it's just like I think the people at the top have become more capitalist instead of helping develop the Black culture. Like we had John Saunders, now we're Stephen A. Smiths, right? We had Coach Thompson's, but we don't have those type of coaches no more. We don't have like the Coach Thompsons who protected the community, who was there for the community, cared about his players, trying to make sure they stayed out of trouble. Now we have like, okay, I'm just trying to, I'm recruiting you because you're the same color as me and we can benefit each other. It's not about growing these players anymore. So for me, I think it's almost like we lost touch of what the purpose was.
Can I throw egg on us a little bit though? So our folks said, hey man, get a job, put 20 years in, retire from that job. We don't think that way, right? You know, we're not gonna stay long enough there to do that. My dad told me, hey man, you put in 15 years, you get that pension, you retire, and you solid there. I'm like, hey man, I put in time here, then I'm gonna go over here. In the world, I don't view the world as small anymore. I can go work in Japan, I can go work in Germany, I can go work somewhere else. Not long enough to stay in the community. Is that a fault of just how we move today too? Do we take some blame in that?
I would say yeah, but I mean, in the sense of like 40 years ago, if you worked for 20 years and you retired, that would last you the rest of your life. Now that's not the choice. You know,
Oh, sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
I was just gonna like I have a few points. But I mean, I'm 32, and if I continue on the path that I'm in right now, I think I'll retire at 62 with like 1.5 or something like that. And even like then, my 401k like calculators like that might not be enough. That could last you like 6 or 7 years. And I'm like, I don't understand how if I own a home completely paid out by that time, how am I not going to be able to sustain myself on $1.2 million for the rest of my life at that point? So it's just, I think it's the day and age. And I would say that sports influence as a whole, not just in the Black community, but in the community in general, is dying in the sense of it's not the only way out now with the big boom of social media. And that would also tie into the point of the Game On comment about sports being sold as the way out. But the percentage to own a business is, to own and run a business is way higher. But I mean, you got to think about startup money, right? Like sports is a way out because it's basically free in the sense where it used to be. You could get recruited out of high school for playing a sport that you didn't really have to put money behind. So
great point. I think that just goes to your point, Eric, like the social media and tying that all in. I think that's kind of like where we are nowadays. I think a lot of people are just kind of scared that they won't be able to make enough money. So therefore they go to these social medias thinking it's going to skyrocket them into this kind of fame in their own head. And it doesn't happen like that. So great point, man. It's kind of like that. Will I be able to survive by 1 mil? Probably not. Let me go to social media and kind of get this social media status up. It's just
yeah, but just like any other industry, it is
like
now
floating around for a while.
like if you didn't get it in the beginning, like again, you have to have some sort of other skill. You can't just rely on being a personality to gain you revenue if you weren't in it early. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like again, you posted how many shows we've done, but everybody that has been on this show has a personality. And had we decided when the internet started that we wanted to be influencers, baby, we would be rolling in the dough. Okay? We would be rolling in the dough. We would be all of the famous podcasts, all the artists that got the podcast, the JB podcast, the Locks on their pod, everybody pod. That would be us. Okay. If we had started being influencers when the internet came out, baby, we would be rolling in the dough. But that wasn't, we were taught we had to go to school, we had to get a degree, and we had to get a job. And the staying with the company 20 years, that we was like, no, because companies ain't loyal no more. So I'm not staying no 20 years and think all they're going to give me is a watch. I'm gonna hop to the next one. They're going to give me some more money. Because to your point, Eric, we don't know if that 1.2 going to last us when we retire. Okay.
I just want to make another quick point just regarding social media. 62, we might be at 78 by the time we done around here. We're gonna be 85, still having to work the way this economy is going. I just want to touch on one little quick it's kind of off topic, but it's on topic. Obviously, I'm a Suns fan. We got swept, but right after Suns we lost, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, what did he do? He went straight to social media, posted a nice, catchy. And it blew up. It blew up. It blew up, right? And now I think that's how the kids think. Like they think that the social media is going to take them to this. It's going to skyrocket them, whether it be AAU or what you were just mentioning, Miss Ebony, where there be like a social media personality. They just think that. But then it ties into what MH is saying. It starts with the parents. If you don't have control of your kids and you letting social media think that they can just, become a celebrity overnight, then that's on the parents. So
let me give y'all
that's what I say. As parents, we got to be careful. Everybody not gonna be a social media star. Everybody ain't gonna make it to the league. Like Tyrus Thomas said, he said, by the time you in middle school and you paying for your kids to travel, you need to get that dude in the science class, because he say the good kids, their stuff is getting paid for.
Again, well aware of that. We over here doing fries and all kinds of stuff because we needed money for that team to go. We sending letters, scratch offs. Like it was like it is not an inexpensive thing. Like I remember when my son, it was like, we want to go to the tournament in Vegas. And again, y'all talking about, we going to tournaments in Tokyo. Sir, ain't nobody got that kind of money. getting them kids together to go to Florida was a hump. It was like, again, who ain't got money? Who's taking care of whose kid while we away for a week because the parent can't travel because they can't be away from work? Like it is a system, but again, the understanding is knowing the value of your child. Like sports is supposed to help your child become well-rounded. It's supposed to help them be a better person, help them to get into school, learn those core lessons. Because again, everybody ain't going. Now, if your child is the exception, your child is the exception to that rule.
You made a great point. Be honest with your kid. If you know your kid just wants to play sports and you want to keep them fit, but you know they're not going to make it to the league, have that conversation with them. Maybe when they're old enough to maybe understand it, maybe you don't want to have that conversation when they're 10, 11.
They don't want to
I'm going to let you hoop, but just so you know, yeah, you probably want to wait till they about 14, 15 and have that conversation, but
not no more.
They better have that backup skill. I told somebody, if I leave sports today, I can go farm. I can go to the farm and work.
There it is. So I mean, all of this stuff is just really talking about like the path to the league, right? And we've uncovered how it's happening from a high school perspective and how things have changed, not only for a work perspective. Like I always love that NBA commercial. A lot of these kids are going pro in something else than the sport that they're playing, but all these things are talking about developing the skill. And we do have to understand community, the cost, the education, the development, slowing down, like all of these things are part, and we have to understand the different nuances for what it relates to, what it means for your individual child or your individual situation. So
orange and blue skies, baby, orange and blue skies. I just want y'all to know.
Yeah, y'all won. We saw that.
It was the Hawks.
Yeah, come on. Anyway, that's first.
Whatever should we say? Orange and blue skies, baby.
That means I love you, but the way they've been playing, sir, you need to wait till just calm down.
Yeah, you better tell them, Miss Ebony.
One day
they were looking in trouble.
The next day, y'all ready to kick people's cats because they messed up
blue
so bad.
Knicks advance. I just got an email. Get tickets to round 2. Orange and blue skies.
Yeah, I just got that message too. I was like, Knicks win round 2. What's going on?
Get excited if y'all get to go to the finals.
We'll see you there. We'll see you there.
Dismantling my transition. Getting into, let's keep it into kind of like some of the league, I guess. What were your thoughts about the WNBA draft, right? We've had plenty of conversations here, and as we talk about the path to the league, and just how UCLA, I mean, they dominated the WNBA draft, right, with having the most picks, and then how they assemble their team and win the check. But what are the things that you guys thought about the WNBA draft, where the WNBA is going with some of the collective bargaining? We always had talks on here about the league expanding and getting older players out so some of the youth can get in. Did anybody have a chance to watch the WNBA draft?
Hey, look, the Dallas Wings gonna have a lot of chemistry on the court.
Look,
see,
draft picks,
wait a minute. I was trying to do the stuff.
Why exactly have a lot of chemistry?
Dallas Wings gonna have a lot of chemistry on the court. That's all I know.
So, do you think it's going to be a lot of chemistry?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, right?
I mean,
because of phasing.
What happens if they break up? Though?
Like loving basketball. They break up. As you gonna talk about some, you hit that.
You trade somebody. What happens?
So who gets traded? Let's go that route then.
Not Paige.
Oh, it's definitely not Paige. It's definitely Flood.
Not Paige.
I still don't know how Flood got picked first.
What do you say?
Paige said pick her first.
Yeah, I was like, she's never been the number one option on her team ever.
Paige said handle that.
How did she get picked first?
What you mean? She was beating Paige in high school. What you mean?
No, Fudd has never been the number one option on that team at UConn.
That's Clay. I mean, no. I mean,
Strong was the number one option, and Paige was the number one option.
I know Clay not popular right now, but that's Clay.
Hey,
to me,
Clay is not. He's still popular.
To me, Glasses should have been picked first.
Clay's popular in the WNBA, so let's just keep it.
Clay popular in the Cliff too.
I'm not saying that. No, She's nice. She's nice. She still gets traded first, but she's nice. Yeah, she number one nice.
Okay.
She
The
can
number
shoot.
one knife.
Yeah,
So
she
you
can
seen the
shoot.
wings win the chip?
That was a favor. That was like, all right.
She got
so,
that.
so,
Got
so you
one.
think the Wings going the chip this year?
I didn't say that.
I mean,
There's
you got
still
Peyton
there's
cut
still
out there.
there's still a lady named Asia Wilson that's around here in Vegas.
Nobody's
And
scared
we
of
got Trinity.
nobody's
Yeah,
Right, baby.
nobody's scared of y'all.
It's a
correct.
wrap.
We gonna
Yeah.
see y'all in the post. Don't worry.
Yeah, there's still a lady named Asia over here. So,
All
but
right.
Asia's cool. She cool.
Yeah, I thought Olivia was better.
She nice. She nice.
Yeah.
She nice.
And
Well,
to me, Dallas could have used the big. They could have got bets.
Bets. Yeah.
Shout out Colorado. Shout out Aurora, Colorado.
I don't know if we needed another guard, but it is what it is.
Well, I thought I was excited for Flau'jae to go to Valkyrie, and like that was crazy. Like all of that stuff, all that noise in it trade.
They traded up.
I was like, oh damn. Did not think she even wrote a song for him already. But I think it's going to be a good move for her. I think she's going to do her thing because it's Seattle, right? Ultimately, she went to.
Yeah. That's a good fan base.
Yeah. Oh, come on. All right, jumping over to it's just so we can kind of wrap and round this out. Let's jump over to the NFL draft. Any thoughts or anything on your team? How your team did? We did a draft show and we eliminated draft pick scores or grades. But anybody watch the draft?
I'm be honest,
Yeah,
I only watched the
literally
first
the worst-
about 5 picks, man. That's probably breaking
The
man
worst
law,
collection of draft
man law
I've ever seen.
code, but yeah.
And
I
see, that's the thing. Everybody was kind of saying it was the worst draft. I think they did all right. I mean,
I was
It's-
busy.
There's a lot of bus.
I was at a baseball
Bus-
game night 1. I was out at the bar night 2, out at the bar night 3 watching Stars. So
Yeah, once I saw Cornell Tate go to the Titans, I was like, yeah, this draft is a wrap, my boy.
I didn't even know Carson Beck entered the draft. I just did not care about this class at all.
and it seems like that was the overall kind of when you were watching the draft, there was just like not a lot of interest at all. So
You know what I think it really was? I think it was a lot of interior. There's a lot of front seven. That's what the talent was. And people are so used to the star positions, the corners, the quarterbacks, the running backs, receivers. It wasn't a lot of them. So a lot of those players got reached on who a lot of us thought those players not really that good. But interior, it's a lot of guys. So it's a lot of D linemen, D tackles, offensive linemen. How many this is probably the most guards you ever seen get drafted in the first round ever.
Utah and BYU was shining.
Right. Utah was putting them out.
I was putting them out, man. No, and that's I think the thing. These are people that we'll probably see that will have long careers, and we'll get to know their names over the season. But it wasn't like you said, Gene, those quarterback classes, right? Or just the big names that we're used to when you come into a draft and where they're going to go. Definitely some exciting here in Las Vegas with the number 1 draft pick. So we hope to see how that works out. There's a lot of reasons the people want that to work out here, not only for the for the viability of the team, but there's a lot of PSL holders.
Damn ticket sales. Hey, I'm happy with. Hey,
I got
shout
my
out
jersey.
Fernando. Hey,
I got my Fernando jersey.
Oh, did you end up getting it? So that was the
Yeah.
funniest thing. I went to the draft party here, and they had them at the draft party, like the official ones. Hilarious. So it's good stuff. All right, rounding and wrapping everything up. Anyone had a chance to watch the Masters? It's just funny how the narrative can change. If you didn't watch the Masters, your boy McIlroy did a repeat, and it's just kind of totally different from the narrative when he kept choking and getting down to it, and he started playing bad again. So it's like, oh, is he relapsing into that situation? And then now it went from him overcoming the adversity and struggles and being an all-time great. So it's just I love the narrative how sports can change in a moment.
because didn't he have the best shot through the first 36 or something like that? The lowest score ever or something.
Yeah,
And then, I saw that he was up
he had a really big lead or
he
killing
was up 7
What was-
strokes or something. And then I saw the next day, I was like, damn, is he gonna lose?
But
this?
what's crazy about it, he didn't even play bad the second round. It's just everybody else started playing real, real good.
Yeah.
He broke even the second round. It's just people behind them just had great rounds. So
I probably saw more food reviews this year of the Masters than I watched of the Masters.
right, that
I'm not
egg
gonna lie to
sandwich looks disgusting.
you. Same with the pimento cheese sandwich. I'm not even gonna hold you. I've seen so many people. There was so much hype around food and merch. One of my boys from work went. He was there for like the first 2 days, the practice rounds, and he said he got to follow Rory around, but he spent like $3,000 on merch.
That's crazy.
He took an empty suitcase and checked it back. Yeah, he got the gnome. He bought a bunch of stuff, blankets.
Yeah, it's
polos.
crazy. And I did not know they lock up your phones at the Masters.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. That's there's not a man phone out there. They kicked one of the players off who brought a phone onto the course.
I saw that.
And it's like, that's serious when they kick, like, oh, you supposed to be playing? No, player, we're going to have to run your credential. You done for the week. So, no, it's kind of interesting, right, to look at the whole crowd like they showed, just some stories around it. Ken Griffey Jr. was like the #1 photographer, one of the highest paid photographers there. So,
such a great hobby.
It's so funny. Him and Randy Johnson are just these photographers now. It's like, this is what we do.
They
All right.
transitioned. They transitioned. They did.
Oh,
They
look at
transitioned to a new career, getting paid ridiculous amount of money to take pictures.
Take pictures
at the Masters.
Gee, it makes you silly. Anyway, I like to open it up, man, so we can get out of here. Is there anything that topics around April, topics around sports, anything that we missed that y'all want to say with your heart and your mind, your chest, and get it off? I think we covered like maybe the major things around sports that getting the month of April wrapped up.
I'm just going. One thing that's been bothering me from the jump. I don't know how you don't like ASU, Arizona Ron. You're the fourth, baby. What are you talking about?
What do you like about them?
My wife went there.
Well, I gotta respect that, man. I don't got nothing disrespectful to say about that, man.
What a guy. World Cup in 2 months.
Did y'all talk about them songs? Did y'all talk about all the World Cup songs that come out, the team songs?
Nobody wants to talk about them.
It's been trending on Instagram. Y'all ain't seen that?
You don't want to see it.
Well, you don't want to see the American.
Them songs are terrible. You got Shakira do it like that's still a banger to this day. The French one still slaps. The American ones are terrible.
It's horrible.
And I also say like the ticket purchasing has been so bad. So I am a huge soccer fan. It's my favorite sport. I've entered in all 4 rounds of the lottery. 0 luck. Unfortunate. This last round was like their last call. I spent 5 hours in a queue to get through the screen for every time for me to click on what like stadium I wanted to go to, Era 404, for it to kick me back to the beginning of the queue.
The bots got you.
It hurt me.
The bots got you.
The last round of bots for the civil.
Men's college basketball re-signed the greatest college basketball coach of all time, extended his contract, Tommy Lloyd. That's what happened in April. We thought we were going to lose him in North Carolina, but he chose to stay here. He chose to bear down like a real Tucsonian.
Yeah, that didn't quite make the chat list, but I'm messing with you.
Wait, did you see that they're expanding?
What you said? There was a tweet that I missed on the chat or something. What did you say that had relevance with your Knicks?
It wasn't on the chat. I was trying to put it on the chat, but I didn't want it to be linked to me. But I saw a tweet that said canceling Magic City Night, curse the Hawks.
Oh gosh,
that's fair.
Hey,
that's fair. Ain't been the same since.
Hey, Boston in trouble though. They can't. They're living and dying by the 3 they are suffering right now.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
There's nothing new about that. They always live and die by that 3.
I think that's their problem. That's why they lost to the Knicks last year.
And this year, if they figure it out there.
If they get there.
If they get there, orange and blue skies.
All right. So, well, hey, thank you all for joining. I hope we all share this conversation. This was a really great conversation, as always. Us pouring into it and just kind of bringing things, voices and ideas to the top of minds, and make sure we kind of carry it out through our community. MH, you got anything to take us out of here?
No, just appreciation, man. I really enjoyed this conversation. It's really cool to, speak to educated people and hear different opinions, and we're not arguing or beefing. It's just conversation. You know what I mean? It's good in this day and age where we like to disagree on everything and stand, hold
100%.
firm down. We can just have conversations, disagree, laugh about it, and move on to the next. So really appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Gaining more information because you can never have too much information.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, well, thank y'all, man. We'll see y'all next month when we talk about more topics. Please check in. We drop a new episode every Thursday. So, like we always say, please stay safe, practice gratitude. No, we're rooting for you. Easy.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for